Congressman, thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Sandra.
All right, so the president is beginning to map out this $1 trillion infrastructure plan. Are you in favor of it?
Well, as a conservative, let me just tell you, the 900-pound gorilla in the room is how do we pay for something like that? But yes, I am for that. But this is not like we're going to a $1 trillion check out of the federal treasury. The president has been talking about private-public partnerships and programs and projects that are driven locally and by states. And there's several possibilities of repatriation of funds that are parked overseas. We've got trillions of dollars of wealth underlying our public lands that could go to specific projects. There's several ways that we could pay for this, and it's not going to be $1 trillion out of the federal taxpayers' pockets.
You look at that debt clock, and we've got one right around the corner here in New York City, and it is alarming when you see that we are $19 trillion and climbing almost to that $20 trillion mark. The president's talking about everything from wireless carriers, high-speed trains, bridges, roads, waterways. We saw this attempt by President Obama pushing through that massive infrastructure spending with those shovel-ready jobs, and it had its obvious problems. This looks somewhat similar, doesn't it? Why would this not see similar challenges?
No, ma'am. I don't think this is similar to what Mr. Obama was trying to do whatsoever. These are projects that are badly, badly needed. We've got crumbling roads and bridges and things that our infrastructure just simply does not match our competitors overseas, and we have to be able to compete. And, I represent the Johnson Space Center. I represent 4 ports, including the Port of Houston, rails, pipeline intersections, and waterways. So we have a problem on our hands, and we're going to have to address these problems. And I think we can do so without bankrupting this country.
Well, I should be more specific in what I meant about the similarities, and that is the time frame. President Trump is looking to prioritize these projects that can quickly begin construction, those quote-unquote shovel-ready jobs. He said he's inclined to give states 90 days to start projects. He's asking Scott Pruitt, the new head of the EPA, to provide a recommendation. What about the timeline that he's laying out here?
Well, I can't address the timeline. I can just tell you this, that as a representative in Congress of 750,000 people in East Texas, from Houston over to Louisiana, we have to make sure that these are not projects driven from D.C. These have to be locally driven projects. Mm-hmm. We don't need to be throwing money because some bureaucrat says we have to do so out of D.C. And so we have to listen to our constituents. We have to look at the needs and address them as they come. And he's proposed about 50 projects. I've looked through them. Several of them are good. I can't say that I agree with everything that's in there, but I can tell you that for us to compete on a global scale, we're going to have to address our infrastructure projects. Right. We have to have regulatory reform, and that will drive costs down as well.
Well, Sean Spicer in the White House press briefing yesterday, Congressman, made a point to say that infrastructure used to be a point of pride, but now regulatory system can keep projects in limbo for years. So the president he referenced has started removing some of those struggles and challenges. Congressman, good of you to be here and react to that. We'll keep watching it.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.